Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. I am Bill, of course, and this is Bill Drives. So first and foremost, just wanted to say a massive thank you to everyone who watched the last video on the Vauxhall Astra, which was the cheapest car on Auto Trader when I bought it. And yeah, that's had over 1,000 views now, and I've had quite a lot of subscribers from that one video. So thank you so much to anyone who's commented, liked, subscribed, all of that good stuff. Thank you so much for that. I think we're on about 120 subscribers at the time of filming this video, which in just over a month, I don't think is too bad. Now, I just want to apologise about the road noise. If you could hear any road noise, I've got the M25 down there to my right, and I've got a nice country lane which we'll be driving down in the Astra VXR very shortly. But of course, first I did want to say a massive thank you to everyone who watched the last video and everyone who did like and subscribed. So, as the title suggests, I've bought the cheapest Astra VXR that was actually on the market. I scoured Facebook Marketplace, I scoured Auto Trader, and I scoured eBay. And it's actually quite an interesting story about this VXR. Well, I think it's interesting anyway. But basically what happened was, I was looking at an Astra VXR, same year, same colour, albeit it had a few thousand more miles. I think the other one was on 140,000 miles, this one's on 120,000 miles. And I was going to buy it. It was a category N car, so it needed some work to the front bumper. The front bumper needed spraying, and it also needed some, what did it need? I think it needed a front headlight, a bumper, and it also needed a clutch. And now I looked at it in a sort of budget way and thought to myself, okay, well, the guy wanted £1,000 for it, and I managed to get him down to £800 on the phone. I then worked out exactly how much I would need to spend on the car, and I thought, well, with a clutch it's probably going to cost about 600 quid, and then obviously with the new front bumper and the little bits of bodywork that it needed, because it obviously had been categorised, I thought it's probably going to need, let's say, the best part of £1,000, maybe just over £1,000 spent on it. So I started looking at the market of Astra VXRs, and I thought, well, if I spend £1,000 on that and I paid £800 for it, and it's 140,000 miles, and obviously it's categorised, am I going to get my money back? So that made me go onto Auto Trader, and when I went onto Auto Trader, I found this gem, and the guy who I bought it off had just listed it. He had literally listed it, well, no, tell a lie. He had listed it about 2 weeks ago, but he hadn't had any interest, so he had just lowered the price that day. Now this was up for £1,950, and I managed to buy this car with the money I got from the Renault Megane that I swapped with my Audi TT. So if you guys, or maybe you haven't, maybe go watch the last few videos, you might have seen that I had a Audi TT which I bought for £850. I then swapped that car with Rian, who came down with his Renault Megane GT line, and swapped that car with my Audi TT. I then of course sold that car for the price of what I paid for this car. So yes, I managed to sell the Renault Megane for £1,700, which is exactly what I paid for this car, £1,700. So not only was it the cheapest listed, I managed to get a few quid off of it, do a deal with the guy, and pay £1,700 for this car. So in my opinion, we've gone from having the TT, which had, you know, a damaged bonnet and needed loads and loads of work, to having the Megane, and then ultimately we've swapped up to an Astra VXR. Now again, those of you who have been watching the story, you'll know that I also do have a BMW 1 Series which has featured on the channel. That car has just gone up yesterday, so today's Monday. Yesterday I put that car on eBay. I put it up with no reserve. So at the time of filming this, I think it's on about £24. And by the time this goes out, I think this will be going out on a Wednesday. You guys can actually bid on that. So if you're interested in bidding on the BMW 1 Series, I'll put a link in the bio, or in the description, sorry, to the BMW 1 Series, and you can have a little bid on that. I'm not too sure what it'll be on by the time Wednesday comes, when this video is posted, but if you fancy having a bid on it, have a little bid on it, you might get yourself a cheap motor. So let's talk about the Vauxhall Astra VXR, which I've just bought and paid £1,700 for. Should we get into it? Right guys, the Astra VXR, and the first thing you'll notice about it is ridiculously dirty. Now, it was a little bit dirty when I bought it, but I have been driving the sort of country lanes and it has got it a little bit more dirty. So yeah, this is a 2007 Vauxhall Astra VXR, and it's a 2-litre turbo. And do you know what? I have wanted these, or one of these, what should I say? I've wanted one of these forever. When these came out when I was a young kid, I mean, I was about, what was I, 16 or 17 when these came out, and I wanted one so bad. They done one in a lovely blue colour. They done them in a few different colours, but my favourite was always the blue colour that they done. The red also looks striking, I think, but the blue ones were just so cool. Do you know what, right? As I was just saying, I have wanted one of these cars forever. Like I was saying, when they came out in 2007, 2006, 2007, I wanted one so bad. I just remember looking at an Arden blue one and thinking to myself, that is such a cool looking car. And you know, they give you that whole sort of boy racer vibe. They give you the, I don't know, they're just a nice looking car. And you know, I've always had a love for cars, hence this channel. But yeah, I remember these coming out when I was 16 or 17, and I could definitely not afford one. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, I'd love one of them. And I remember thinking, one day I will have one. And lo and behold, nearly 20 years later, I've got myself one. And I've got it for an absolute bargain, in my opinion. Some of you guys who watch me may also watch another YouTuber, Calvin, from Calvin's Car Diary. He's actually giving one of these away on his platform Planet of Dreams at the moment. And you know what, I watch him religiously every Sunday. He puts a video out, or sometimes he does another one during the week, I think, as well. And he's had this Arden blue Vauxhall Astra VXR, which he bought from auction on his channel. He's had that on his channel now for a while, and I think the guy who won it on Planet of Dreams instead took the cash alternative the first time, so it's gone up again. But yeah, I just looked at it when he bought his and I was like, man, that is such a cool car. And you know, you kind of forget about these cars a little bit, especially with all these new cars coming out, and you know, yeah, there's a lot newer, better cars out there, but these are just such still good cars, in my opinion. They're still quite quick. I mean, they're not fast by today's standards. If you look at, you know, their competition of, say, Audi S3s or BMW 135i's or 140s, of course, they're not nowhere near as quick. But I tell you something, what I know about this car already, for the money I've paid for it, it's an absolute bargain. Now, a friend of mine, Simon, who I do a lot of car stuff with, and I'm going to try and include him in the channel a little bit more often, we both had Ford Focus STs in the past, the 2.5 5-cylinder turbo engines, which are originally obviously Volvo engines, but then they put them in the Ford Focus ST, and it just made them super rapid. Now, these, I suppose, are the biggest comparison to them, if that makes sense. They would have been rivals back in the day. They came out around the same year. They had around the same sort of power and around the same sort of 0 to 60 figures and top speed figures and stuff like that. Now, I've actually owned a Focus ST, 2 of them, one blue one, one grey one. I'll put them on the screen now. And yeah, me and Simon's debate was, is this quicker than an ST? Now, that's a hard question because every car is different once they've been tuned, aren't they? So it's not like this car's standard. It has been tuned, which I'll get into later. And the STs that are, well, the Ford Focus STs that I had both been tuned as well. So it's hard to say which car's faster unless you had two completely standard, same mileage, run on the same fuel. It would be hard to say what's better or what's faster, should we say. But I've got to say, I've been driving this now for 4 or 5 days since I bought it, and I've got to say, there's pros and cons of it in comparison to the ST, but we'll get into that when I'm driving it. But if you have got a full focus ST and you would like to come on the channel and we could do some sort of comparisons, then please let me know, and yeah, hopefully we can make a good video out of it. But yeah, as I was saying, I have always wanted one of these cars. I've always wanted one. They've always been on my list of cars to have, and I'm so glad that I now have one and I get to drive it and do a few bits and pieces to it, and then obviously it's going to get sold at some point, but I'm so glad I've got my hands on one. I've been driving this car now for about 4 days, 5 days, and I've got to say, it is such a great car to drive and it is a lot of fun. But let's have a look around the car, shall we? Let's do the usual walk round inside, and then what we'll do, we'll get in and we'll do some driving in the car and hopefully get some shots of the car being driven, if that makes sense. But you'll see later in the video. So I've got to say and admit, it is not the mintest VXR in the world, but for £1,700, I don't think that really matters too much. So the first thing that you may have noticed already is this huge scuff mark on the wheel. Okay, that's actually very noticeable, isn't it? But it is something that is pretty minor in the grand scheme of things, I would say. Then next, moving on, we've got, if you can see that because of the sunlight, let me just tap on the screen there. Yeah, we've got a little bit of rust there. It is obviously very filthy, as I've said already, but we are going to go and get it cleaned and do some before and afters. What's that there? Is that, oh, that's just dirt. Okay, cool. Another thing that the previous owner sort of highlighted, and I noticed, of course, is these few little rust spots here along the back trim. You know, that back trim that just goes across the back of the boot there. Now, they do actually do these in chrome, and I think they do look better in chrome, but I think they look better in chrome when you've got silver wheels. Originally, these wheels would have been silver. They've been probably refurbed and sprayed black. I mean, I believe anyway. I might be completely wrong. Do correct me in the comments if I am wrong, but I don't think they came out the factory as black. But my point is, if this is going to go chrome, I think the wheels should go back to silver. But do let me know what you think in the comments about that. Also as well, just down here, got a little bit of cracking and a tiny bit of like paint peel. I mean, look at that, it's just falling off. Look, that is just falling off. I don't know whether that's lacquer peel, I'm not too sure what's going on there, but hopefully that's something get sorted out for not too much money, fingers crossed. Moving around the car, you can't really see it due to all the dirt, but there is actually quite a little bit of lacquer peel. I'd say quite, there's a little bit of lacquer peel on this sill here, and the roof is just, there's a few little spots and marks where it's got like lacquer peel. But that being said, it is a red car. You know, red cars do suffer with lacquer peel, but I don't think this one is too terrible. Show you guys inside. Winston's here, look, ain't ya? Hello, Winston. He's off. But yeah, nice little VXR little plate things there. Love that. Nice little touch, just to let you know that that is, you know, a VXR version and not a standard Astra. Then steering wheel still in great condition, as you can see. All of this dash actually is in good condition, as you can see. No major marks, little bit of wear and tear. But yeah, these came with, I know for a fact you could got this, or they came with either a silver dash or a black dash. This one's got the black one, and I think these bits here could have been silver in some of them as well. I'm not 100%, but I might get corrected in the comments about that. And then the seats. These are wicked, these seats. I actually love these seats. They're Recaros which obviously if you're into cars, everyone knows about Recaro, and they just proper hug you. They're just properly nice to sit in. They're not heated, there's no heated seats in this, which in an ST there is, in most of them anyway. Or well, the one I had, both of them that I had heated seats, but in here there's no heated seats. But I've got to say, I do think these seats are lovely. There's loads of like, what's that called, bolster, loads of bolster. There's no rips, no tears, and if you get in the back, just got my little bag that I keep all my filming gear in. Get in the back, also very mint. All the headrests are in good condition. It's got a parcel shelf still, and yeah, just generally in good condition, I think. 6-speed gearbox, handbrake gate is nice, and the gear gate is all right as well. So all little bits and pieces like that, you know. Sometimes you get in cars and these are all knackered. Should we just turn that off, because it's, but yeah, as I was saying, gear gator still in good nick, and the handbrake gator. Sometimes little things like that, you know, when they get all nasty and stuff, can affect the look of it and just makes you think this car looks a bit tired. One thing I have noticed as well is in the vents, there's a couple of vents missing there, and I think there's one, no, not this one, no, not over there either. Must be a different car I'm thinking about. But yeah, oh, and also I'm missing a pedal, which fell off the other day. What's the matter with you? Where is he? What's up? What's going on? What are you doing? So yeah, there you go. There is the Astra VXR. I'm so glad I've bought one. But now what we'll do is we'll take it for a drive, and I'm just going to talk about how it drives and how it sounds and how quick it is. I think it's a pretty quick thing for what it is. Yeah, I've never really had anything that is properly quick. I mean, I've had STs, a couple of them. I've had a really quick Golf GTI. I've had the TTS, which was probably the quickest car I've ever driven, let alone owned. But yeah, not really been around massively fast cars. So for me, this is pretty quick. This is pretty quick. I'm sure as time goes on and as I get better and better and better cars, this will soon seem like it's slow maybe, but I don't know. I think it's well fun to drive. But that being said, let's go drive it. Right guys, should we take it for a drive? Let's take it for a drive. So I'm finally behind the wheel of a Vauxhall Astra VXR. I have wanted one of these for years, and now I've finally got one, and I've got to say it feels bloody good, because like I said, I wanted one forever. When these came out, I was 16 or 17 years old. I couldn't afford one, and do you know what, I just wanted one so bad, and now I've got one. Although I'm 20 years older, I'm so grateful that I've got one. And I feel so happy to be driving one. Do you know what? We've got a beautiful day to be driving this Astra VXR down this lane. It's not massively busy. There's a few cars about, but the sun just coming over the clouds there, over the Surrey Hills, just looks lovely. And you know what? It's nice to be driving this, and I'm glad to be driving this, and it is a lot of fun to drive. It drives like a dream, if I'm honest with you. I haven't got much fuel, so I can't drive for too long or go too mad, but we're doing 40 mile an hour on a country road, and it just feels great. It feels responsive. When I put my foot down, it goes. One thing I will say is it does have a sport button, which apparently the guy told me there is a remap on the sports button, so it takes it up to about 280 horsepower. It would be interesting to get this dynoed and actually see what power it is running, because without proof of a dyno, anyone can say anything, can't they? They can say, yeah, the car's 400 horsepower, and you just have to believe them. But it feels pretty quick to me. It revs more than an ST, and I don't know why I keep comparing them to an ST, but they are that's the only car I really can compare it to, front wheel drive, you know, around or just under 300 brake horsepower. So really and truly, they're the only car that I can compare them to, if that makes sense. But third gear. It just pulls all the way up to 60. The speed limit of this road is 60 mile an hour, by the way. But yeah, it's, in terms of the STs, they're more torquey. They've got a lot of torque. They pull, it sort of pushes you back in your seat as you're driving. This doesn't push you back in your seat as much, but it revs more. And it's hard to compare them, because this one revs more, that one's more torquey. This one, you know you're going fast, but the other one, the ST that I had, was just loud and in your face. And even when you were doing 30 mile an hour, you felt like you were going fast, if that makes sense. I didn't know what to expect with the Astra VXR. Like I said, I'd always wanted one, and I was always fascinated with the idea of buying one, because I know they're fast, and for what they are, bearing in mind, not by today's standard, bearing in mind. I know they're pretty nippy, let's say then. But I just always liked the way they looked more than anything. So yeah, it drives nice. It's a lovely place to sit. The driving position is fantastic, albeit I must say I am a little bit close, because if I come out a little bit, I feel like the controls that my hands want to touch, for example, not the steering wheel, but the controls on the dash here, if I move my seat back ever so slightly like that, which is now perfect for my legs, my arms just become a little bit too far away from the center console, etc. Now I'm too close. There you go. So there you go, that's it. But yeah, it's a quick car, and it's what I expected it to be. I expected it to be fun to drive. I expected it to be sporty. I expected it to be, you know, enthusiastic. Is that the right word? I don't know if that's the right word. Right, watch this. First gear, second gear, third gear, that's 60. And I'll tell you what, the steering wheel does not want to stay straight. It literally is just, I don't know if you saw that or if you can see that in the video, but the steering wheel is just all over the place. Oh mate, it's terrifying. It's fun and it's terrifying at the same time. Like, it feels ridiculously fast. I mean, I'm not going that fast. I'm doing 60 on a 60 mile an hour road. Sounds nice, pulls in fourth gear very well, but it is just all over the place. Like, it doesn't want to stay straight at all. Oh dear. Mate, this car's fast. I don't care what anyone says, this is a quick car. And alright, maybe not if you're used to driving Porsche 911 GT3s, maybe not if you're used to driving 400 brake horsepower Golf Rs, but I'm telling you now, this is a quick car for what it is, and all going through the front wheels and all with that torque steer that you get and everything like that, it feels quick. It does feel quick. And I mean, for a front wheel drive car, why would you want any more power? You know, you get these people that put like 500 horsepower into a front wheel drive Focus RS, and you think, well, surely you can't use all that power on the road, especially in the winter, especially when the roads are slippery and slidey and wet and icy. I mean, can you even use that power? Let me know in the comments, is it usable power? What's it like on a track having 500 horsepower going through the front wheels? I mean, this is under 300 horsepower and it is spinning up and it's torque steer and it's terrifying, to be honest with you. So yeah, let me know in the comments if 300 horsepower is enough, is it not? I mean, I know you do get things like limited slip differentials and stuff like that, which will probably help if you've got a front wheel drive car. Not actually ever driven a car with a limited slip differential in it, so I would like to drive a car with a limited slip differential in it, but I don't know. Does it make a lot of difference? I'm sure someone in the comments will let me know. And I can't believe that I've paid just £1,700 for this car. I think I've had an absolute bargain. Most of everything works in this car. Like I said to you, the sport button doesn't engage. It did actually engage when I first bought the car, because on the way home I didn't realise that the remap was on the sport button, if that makes sense, and then I pressed the sport button and it became a lot more powerful, should we say. So yeah, that definitely did work, but it's stopped working now. And also as well, the fog lights definitely did work, and the rear fog light definitely did work, but they're no longer working. So for some reason it's got some sort of electrical gremlin, and I'm not too sure what it is, but I will get to the bottom of it. I don't know if maybe it's a fuse, or maybe there's like a module system, you know, like they have in some cars where a lot of things are controlled off of one sort of central module computer thing. I don't know too much about car electrics and stuff like that, but I'm sure someone may let me know in the comments. It might just be a simple case of pulling this bit of plastic off here, and you know, one of the solders has gone bad and it needs resoldering, or I don't know, anything like that. But I'm sure we'll find out. And what's the plan with the VXR then? So the plan with the VXR is, as I've mentioned already in this video, or I will mention, the BMW 1 Series is up for sale. Now, I was using that as my daily driver because, the reason being, is because it is so good on fuel. I was spending like £20 a week, or on the weeks that I have been driving it, I spent like 20 quid, and the diesels lasted me all week. It is such a good car economically. Now that car is for sale. By the time this video goes out, it'll be a few days into an eBay auction. If you want to bid on that car, I'll put the link in the description of this video, and you might get yourself a cheap BMW. Not too sure what that'll go for, but I paid 850 quid for it, as you saw in one of my previous videos. If you haven't watched that video, then go back and watch it, and you'll see the state of the car when I bought it. It's had a new battery, and it's been cleaned up, but it's now up for auction on eBay. So if you're interested in that car, go and have a bid, go and see if you can win it, and do the bits up and come on the channel, and hopefully, you know, you can get a bargain out of it. And it would be really good if you did buy that car. If you're watching and you do buy that car, then I'd love to have you on the channel. That would be wicked. So yeah, the plan with this car is to keep it as my daily driver whilst it's getting fixed up. It needs a few more bits doing to it to make it like proper, should we say, like mint, not mint, but to make it better. Let's just say make it better. It needs a few bits, and whilst I'm doing them few bits, I'm going to enjoy it. Anyway guys, I think what I'm going to do is end the video there, because I've just pulled up in the petrol garage. Going to get the car cleaned and put some petrol in it, get it home, put it away for the night, and get this video out to you guys for Wednesday. It's Monday now, and I just want to end the video by saying thank you so much to everyone who has taken their time to watch any of my videos, anyone who has hit the subscribe button, anyone who's left a comment, anyone who's liked. If you don't already, please hit the subscribe button. Make sure you like and comment on this video. If you'd like to see more videos like this, let me know. If you've got something to say about the video, let me know. And if you don't already, please head over to my Instagram, which is @BillDrives, and give me a follow on there too. Hit the follow button on there too. And if you've got any DMs, anything you want to see in a video, or if you've got a car for sale that you think I might be interested in, or if you've got a Ford Focus ST and you want to do the comparison with the Vauxhall Astra VXR, anything like that, give me a shout, reach out, and I'll be more than happy to do a video with you. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. See you there.